Good afternoon. Today I am going to start from history, the new chapter. It will not come in quarterly, but I am taking this chapter as a new chapter, Nazism and the Rise of Hitler. Unit 1, Birth of Weimar Republic. Germany, a powerful empire in the early years of the 20th century. It was very powerful in the early 20th century. Germany itself was a very powerful. Fought the First World War, 1914 to 1918, alongside the Austrian Empire and against the Allies. Allies countries were there. The Germany fought along with England, France, and Russia. All joined the war enthusiastically, hoping to gain from a quick victory. All have joined just to get a victory. Little did they realize that the war would stretch on, eventually draining Europe of all its resources. Now, in the First World War, so many things already destroyed, and even the resources also drained, lost. Germany made initial gains by occupying France and Belgium. Then Germany had tried to get victory over France and Belgium. However, the Allies, strengthened by the US entry in 1917, won, defeating Germany and the Central Powers in November 1918. The defeat of Imperial Germany and the abdication of the Emperor gave an opportunity to parliamentary parties to recast German polity. A national assembly met at Weimar. Weimar is a place where the national assembly met and established a democratic constitution with the federal structure. Deputies were now elected to the German parliament. Parliament was also known as a Reichstag, on the basis of equal and universal votes cast by all adults, including women. So those days there was a parliament and there was a voting system also, and it was allowed to all to give the votes as a universal votes. The republic, however, was not received well by its own people, largely because of the terms it was forced to accept after Germany's defeat at the end of the First World War. So Germany at the First World War, the end of the First World War, Germany defeated. The peace treaty at Versailles with the Allies was a harsh and humiliating peace. So Germany lost its overseas colony. Now in this war, Germany lost all the overseas colonies. A tenth of its population lost, 13% of its territories, 75% of the iron and 26% of the coal to France, Poland, Denmark and Lithuania. It had lost so many things. The Allied powers, now after Allies, so many other powers joined, demilitarized Germany to weaken its power. The war guilt clause held Germany responsible for the war and damages the Allied countries suffered. Germany was forced to pay a compensation amounting $6 billion. The Allied armies also occupied the rich Rhineland for much of the 1920s. Many Germans held the new Weimar Republic responsible for not only the defeat in the war but the disgrace at Versailles. So Germany had lost many of the things in this war. Not only this, it had lost coal field also, it had lost the iron field also. So many things it had lost during the war. The effects of the war. After this war, what was the effect? The war had a devastating impact on the entire continent, both psychologically and financially. It was a great effect on psychologically and financially. From a continent of the creditors, Europe turned into one of the debtors. So Europe, now it was going downfall. Unfortunately, the infant Weimar Republic was being made to pay for the sins of the old empire. So Weimar was a place where it had been made to recovery all the things. The republic carried the burden of war, guilt and national humiliation and was financially crippled by being forced to pay compensation. Those who supported the Weimar Republic, mainly the socialists, you have to underline this line, mainly socialists, Catholics and Democrats, became easy targets to attack in the conservative nationalist circles. They were mockingly known as November criminals. November criminals, who were the November criminals? November criminals were those socialist, Catholics and Democrats who already held the in the Weimar Republic. Then this mindset and had a major impact on the political developments of the early 1930s, as we will soon see. The First World War left a deep imprint on European society. So there was a great impact on the European society after the First World War and the polity. Soldiers came to be placed above civilians. Politicians and publicists laid great stress on the need for men to be aggressive, strong and masculine. The media glorified trench life. The truth, however, was that soldiers lived miserable lives in these trenches, trapped with rats, feeding on corpses. They faced the poisonous gas and enemy shelling and witnessed their ranks reduce rapidly. Aggressive war propaganda and national honor occupied center stage in the public sphere. While popular support grew for conservative dictatorship that had recently come into being, democracy was indeed a young and fragile. So that time democracy was a new thing which could not survive the instabilities of the interwar Europe. So Europe, that time there was a new type of democracy. Political radicalism and economic crisis. The birth of the Weimar Republic coincided with the revolutionary uprising of the Spatist League on the pattern of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. Soviet of wars and sailors were established in the many cities. The political atmosphere in Berlin was charged with the demands for Soviet style governance. So new type of political atmosphere started. Those opposed to this, such as the Socialist Democrats and Catholics, they were known as the November criminals, met in Weimar to give shape to the democratic republic. So these three, they met in the Weimar and they gave a new shape of the democratic republic. The Weimar Republic crushed the uprising with the help of a war veterans organization called Free Corps. The anguished Spartists later founded the Communist Party of the Germany. So later on it was founded the Communist Party in the Germany. Communists and the Socialists henceforth became irreconcilable enemies and could not make a common cause against Hitler. Both revolutionaries and militant nationalists craved for radical solution. Political radicalization was only heightened by the economic crisis of 1923. Germany had fought the war largely on loan. Now Germany, whatever it had fought, it had taken a loan and had to pay war repression in gold, and while they have fought this war, they have to pay the gold. This depleted gold reserves at a time resource was very scarce, so that time the gold was becoming limited. In 1923, Germany refused to pay. Now in 1923, Germany had refused not to pay, and the French occupied its leading industrial areas. Those industrial areas of Germany already French occupied ruled to claim their coal. Germany retaliated with passive resistance and printed paper currency. Now Germany has started making paper currency. With too much printed money in circulation, the value of this German mark fell down. So too much they have already made, so it became a downfall. In the April, the US dollar was equal to 24,000 marks. In the July, 3,53,000 marks. In the August, 4 lakh 6,000, 21,000 marks, and at 98 crore 86 lakhs marks by December. The figure had run into trillions. As the value of the mark collapsed, prices of the goods soared. Now, day by day, the prices was going high, and the goods were not selling. The image of the Germans carrying cart loops of the currency notes to buy a loaf of bread was widely publicized, evoking worldwide sympathy. So Germany, as they were carrying the currency, the notes, it was showing that all sympathy towards the worldwide. This crisis came to be known as hyperinflation. Day by day, the goods prices was going high, and this time this crisis was known as a hyperinflation, a situation when price rise phenomenally high, when the market price was going high. So this situation was known as hyperinflation. Eventually the Americans intervened and bailed Germany out of the crisis by introducing the Durs plan, which revoked the terms of the repression, the easy of the financial burden of Germany. So this was the condition of the German. The years of the depression, the years between 1924 to 28 saw some stability, yet this was built on sand. German investments and the industrial recovery were totally dependent on short-term loans. So whatever it had taken a loan, but it was a very short term, largely from the USA, and this loan being taken from the USA. This support was withdrawn when the Wall Street Exchange crashed in 1929. Fearing a fall in prices, people made frantic efforts to sell their shares. Now people, they were in crisis, the money crisis, so they started selling their shares. On the single day, 24th October, 13 million shares were sold, and this was the start of a great economic year. The day when the shares was sold, they have started selling their shares. So that day from it was known as a great economic depression. Over the next 3 years, between 1929 to 1932, the national income of the USA fell by half. Factories shut down, exports fell, farmers were badly hit, and speculators withdraw their money from the market. The effects of this recession in the US economy were felt the worldwide. So this was not only in one place, it had shown to the other places also. The prices was going high and their shares they were selling, and that period it was known as a great economic depression. The German economy was the worst hit by the economic crisis. By 1932, you have to underline this sentence, the German economy was the worst hit by the economic crisis. By 1932, industrial production was reduced to 40% of the 1929 level. Day by day, industrial production was also going down. Workers lost their jobs and they were paid reduced wages, very less wages they were getting. The number of the unemployed touched an unprecedented 6 million. On the streets of the Germany, you could see men with placards around their necks saying willing to do any work. People were roaming here and there, so they were just like unemployed. So in their neck they were just having that card, and it was written willing to do any work. Unemployed youths play cards or simply sat at street corners, or some of the people they were sitting on the street corners or desperately queued up at the local employment exchange, and some were waiting for the job and they were in a line in the employment exchange. As jobs disappeared, the youth took to criminal activities. No jobs were there, so the youths, whatever the younger generation it was, they were just taking the path of the criminal activities, and total despair became a commonplace. The economic crisis created deep anxieties and fears in people. The middle classes, especially salaried employees and pensioners, saw their savings diminish when the currency lost its value. Now nobody was asking the currency, it was in a loss. People were not getting the jobs. If they were getting a jobs, it was very less also, and they were asking, willing to get to do some work. Small businessmen and the self-employed and retailers suffered as their business got ruined. These sections of society are filled with the fear of proletarianization, as the word is given here on page number 55, to become impoverished to the level of the working classes, and anxiety of being reduced to the ranks of the working classes, or worse still, the unemployed. Only organized workers could manage to keep their heads. Now the prices was going high, people were not getting a jobs. Only those people who were having a good work, they were only managed to their family. But unemployment weakened their bargaining power. Big business was in crisis. The large mass of peasantry was affected. Peasantry, the farming, they were affected by a sharp fall in agriculture prices, and women unable to fill their children's stomachs were filled with a sense of deep despair. So that condition was very worse. Politically, to the Weimar Republic was fragile. The Weimar constitution had some inherent defects which made it unstable and vulnerable to dictatorship. Now, day by day, the Weimar Republic was planning something else. One was proportional representation. This made achieving a majority by any one party a near impossible task, leading to a rule by coalition. Another defect of Article 48. Another defect of Article 48, which gave the President the powers to impose an emergency, suspend civil rights, and rule by decree. Within its short life, the Weimar Republic saw 20 different cabinets lasting on the average 239 days and a liberal use of Article